Early humans didn't have any metal tools or modern building techniques, but they still managed to build some pretty sophisticated shelters. Let's take a look at how primitive people built their homes. Our earliest ancestors probably started building shelters as soon as they stood up on two legs and ventured out of the forest. At first, these were nothing more than simple frames made of branches that were tied together with vines or rope made of animal hide. The spaces between the branches were filled in with leaves, mud, or even animal skins. These early shelters weren't very fancy, but they did the job of keeping our ancestors safe from the elements and predators. Some groups of early humans settled near caves and used them as natural shelters. Caves were great because they were already dug out and ready to move in. Plus, they had thick walls that could keep out the cold or the heat. But not everyone lived in caves. Those who lived in forests or grasslands had to build their own shelters from scratch. Building a shelter was a lot of work, but it was worth it. A good shelter could protect a family from the sun, the rain, the snow, predators, and even rival groups. Different environments created different styles of shelters. Some people built snow huts in cold climates, while others built grass huts in warmer climates. In deserts, people built homes out of mud bricks. They would gather wood for the frame of the hut and then use mud and stones to fill in the walls. The roof was usually made of palm leaves or animal skins. In the forest, people might build their homes over permanent or temporary clearings. These homes were usually made of wood and leaves. The walls were made of a woven lattice of branches and leaves. This type of shelter was good for keeping out the rain and the wind, but it wasn't very good for keeping out predators. So people had to be careful when they lived in forest shelters. Some groups built large communal shelters that could house many families. These shelters were usually made of wood and thatch. Thatch is a type of roof made of dried grass or reeds. People lived in these shelters with their families and their animals. It was a great way to protect their crops and their livestock from predators. No matter what type of shelter people built, they all had one thing in common. They were all made of natural materials. Early humans didn't have any metal tools or modern building techniques, but they were still able to build some pretty sophisticated structures. They were able to do this by using natural materials in a clever way. They were also able to work together in large groups to build these structures. So the next time you see a primitive-looking shelter, remember that it took a lot of hard work and ingenuity to build. Thanks for watching.